Welcome to SanJuanIslandsTV.com. You know, transportation is an issue that affects us all. But when you live on an island, it becomes even more of an issue. Today, at the first ever San Juan County Transportation Summit, hundreds of people have come together to discuss the transportation issues now and in the future. For the islands, transportation is the #1 issue impacting the economic sustainability of San Juan County's communities and businesses, not to mention the everyday quality of life for residents. The summit was intended to be an open dialogue among citizens, policymakers, and transportation providers. Liz Ilg, one of the event's driving forces, was pleased with the results.
I was pleased. It was a good mix of both people who can do something about our transportation situation and others who have expertise in the area. Policymakers were here, private transit providers were here, and the public. I mean, the folks that are going to have to pay for anything if we decide to put in any kind of taxing situation. So it was great to have a mix of folks just and to get a sense of what we want and what we're willing to pay for.
The summit was held at the San Juan County Fairgrounds and was open to all county residents and other interested parties. Registration took place in the main building. Breakfast was provided as attendees and participants mingled prior to the first sessions. A total of 6 sessions or conversations were held throughout the day in a World Cafe type of setting. Experts presented information at the beginning of each session. At the conclusion of these presentations, the moderator then posed 2 questions for the attendees to work on. Breaking up into small groups, each group identified barriers and then solutions to the questions. The session finished with each group sharing their findings and ideas. A scribe was on hand to document the information in real time on the projector screen. Sessions occurred 2 at a time, with attendees choosing which one most interested them. One of the most interesting for the island residents took place in the afternoon inside the 4-H building and centered on the proposed passenger ferry between Friday Harbor and Bellingham. In between sessions, people made their way to the next one or visited the many exhibitor booths in the main building, representing a wide array of economically and environmentally sustainable multimodal transportation options and resources. Everything from electric cars to high-mileage commuter vehicles, regional airlines and charter companies, boat manufacturers, local businesses and community organizations, even the local Segway dealer. Alternative modes of transportation can be fun. During lunch, tastefully catered by Cynthia's, of course, conversations spurred by the morning sessions continued unabated. The final session of the day was an informal talk and conversation with the State Transportation Commission. The standing room only crowd discussed long-term ferry funding and the recently completed ferry customer surveys. Throughout the day, Cynthia Stark-Wickman was on hand to artistically capture the essence of each session. Afterwards, during a wine and dessert reception, people were quite excited about the ideas generated during the summit.
The greatest part of a day like this is, I think, the small conversations that you have with people, and a lot of what we evoked was what people were willing to do. And it's interesting, both on a personal level, you know, if it's biking or if it's hitchhiking or if it's picking up a hitchhiker, if it's using less water. I think a lot of folks got ideas out of the conversations today that they didn't expect to get.
An executive summary, presenter slides, and notes from each session are available at islandway.org/transsummit under the Outcomes button. Hard copies of all materials as well as videos of each session will be available at local island libraries. You'll find links to the libraries on our website under Island Links/websites. It's been a very successful day here at the San Juan County Transportation Summit. I'm Lisa Malika. Thank you for watching SanJuanIslandsTV.com, the place to visit.